Right then, welcome back. This is my channel and this is me sitting outside eating chicken wings and ribs at Wembley because it's the FA Cup final this weekend and we're not in it. However, United are playing Liverpool tomorrow night at Old Trafford if the protesters decide that it's allowed to happen. So let's talk about it then. Right, the league situation with Liverpool is hilarious at the moment. They are currently lying in 6th position. They are 7 points behind the Champions League places. Chelsea play Arsenal tonight. Liverpool have a game in hand. It is a massive must-win game for them to try and beat United. That's why they all lost their shit and started crying, literally, yesterday when it looked like Manchester United had, I guess, phoned it in a little bit against Leicester. So they're not happy. I mean, as Scousers tend to be. Their away form in the league is considered good, though. To be fair, they've got 7 wins, 6 draws, and only 3 losses this season so far. It's their home form that's absolutely ruined them. They've got 4 wins and 1 draw in their last 5 league games, so they really have started to pick up a little bit, and they're looking at a little bit better. We did beat them 3-2 in the FA Cup last time we played them, but I think we're looking at a completely different prospect when we face Liverpool tomorrow night. And I think that if Jurgen Klopp's got anything about him as a manager, he'll probably pick them up a little bit and have them coming at us really raring to go. And if they can win all of their games, they do actually have a good chance, because everyone's sort of focusing on other things. Chelsea are going to be focusing on other things, and it could honestly happen. I think it's unlikely. I think the top 4 is probably going to stay as it is, but it could happen. So they're dying to win every single game. Expected formation, well, Jurgen Klopp for years and years and years adopted that base 4-3-3 formation. I think he'll likely do again on Thursday night, but however, he has opted for a 4-4-2 formation against Newcastle a couple of weeks ago when they drew, and he has attempted to throw in a little bit more attacking impetus when he's been doing that. We've also seen him kind of go to a 4-2-3-1 at times this season, but he has been really going back to the 4-3-3 and finding a little bit of form when he's doing that, like the last time that they played against Southampton, winning 2-0. Predicted 11 wise for Liverpool, I think it's starting to look a little bit more like what a Liverpool team probably should do. Alisson, Trent, Fabinho, Phillips, Robertson, Milner, Thiago, Wijnaldum, Mane, Jota and Salah. That is still a top football team. That is still a team that could actually come here and really turn us over. So I think United have to be prepared for this. Kabak is a doubt, and it looks like Gomez, Matip, Henderson, Origi and Van Dijk, RIP, are going to be missing for Liverpool. Now, Henderson is actually one of the more important ones in this team, and I think it's been pivotal for how they've been in terms of a bit of a captain's presence and also a bit of steel and resilience in midfield. And I'm thinking him not being available, Liverpool have a little bit of a soft centre when he's missing. So I think if he is out, it is a bit of a bonus for United. Starman is Mo Salah. 29 goals in 47 games so far this season. He is prolific. 20 goals in the league puts him second only behind Harry Kane, who's got 21. He's only got 5 assists, which definitely fits the narrative of him being quite greedy and tunnel vision in the final third. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's entirely up for debate, and I think you can have one knobhead in a team, and that's what I'd classify as one selfish knobhead in a team. Salah could be that guy for Liverpool. He's absolutely deadly on his left foot. He massively outperforms his XG on his strong side by 3 goals. So you've got to try and show him onto his right foot, because he's always looking to cut inside. An underrated element of Salah's game, though, is his movement and his engine. He never stops running, constantly making runs in behind, and it's the same intensity from minute 1 until it is to minute 90. Luke Shaw is going to have to be on his A game, really, to try and even compete with him. He's got to remain switched on for the entire 90 minutes, because if you turn off once, Salah is going to hurt you. He is quick, he is elusive, he's deceptively strong, and he's a constant danger, and especially in games when he's been kept a little bit quiet. He is the sort of guy that comes off doing absolutely nothing for 89 minutes, putting a 5-yard tapping in and being absolutely buzzing with himself if he does it. He's the only player from Liverpool, I would say, that hasn't regressed at all from last season. So how are we expecting Liverpool to come? So Liverpool are a bit of a hybrid in their ability to play on the counter as well as being massively possession-based. And they've got the second highest possession in the league with 62.3%. And they favour a possession-based game, which allows them to get their fullbacks really high up the pitch as auxiliary wingers to sort of spread the pitch and allow Mane and Salah to go narrow and sort of sit in between the fullback and the centre-half, which is where they sort of exploit space. It is a huge aspect of how they function when they're attacking. But Liverpool have been nowhere near as ruthless or as prolific when they've been going forward this season, only scoring 57 goals, which is the 5th best in the league this season, and they're behind the likes of Leicester and Tottenham. And they've also not been watertight at the back, which is why that they're not challenging for a title. They've got the 5th ranked defence in the league, conceding only a couple of goals less than the likes of Brighton and Aston Villa this season. So they are gettable. And they are a team that you can get in behind on. And funnily enough, Liverpool have also attempted the largest amount of long balls this season with 4,053, which is around 300 more than even Burnley have attempted in second place. But the most staggering thing about this stat is even though they have attempted the most long balls, they also have the 3rd highest pass completion rate with all of those long balls as well, at 67%, which means that they're actually pinpoint when they're banging it forward. So that's definitely something that we have to watch out for. And of course, you've seen how they play. The gegenpressing is a big aspect of how Liverpool do set up, and they are the highest in the league, the most successful in regaining possession with defensive pressures within 5 seconds of losing the ball at 32.1%, and they play with tenacity and aggression across the front line, which is where they force a lot of mistakes. The risk reward for them in turning over possession in that area is very high, and it does lead to goals for them. But they are also error prone at the back, and they lead the league in defensive errors with 19, which is joint with Sheffield United. So that's showing you why and where they've not been able to convert what they did last season into what they're doing this season. And anyone who's watched not even any highlights of them whatsoever will also tell you that they are of course a team that leads the league in crossing with 514 crosses. Their attacking mantra is width, and whipping it in. Both Robertson and Trent are just spamming balls into the box. Harry Maguire would have been excellent in this game, and I expect he's going to be a massive miss because who else is going to be clearing up those headers? So the United 11 that I'm going with to beat them then is going to be Dean Henderson in net. It's going to be Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw. I think it'll be Bailly alongside Lindelof. Unfortunately, I don't think Axel Tuanzebe is good enough in the air. I'm not even 100% sure Bailly is, but I think he'll be one that's given the nod. I'd consider playing Matic, but I don't think he's gonna. Matic, with his aerial presence, sitting in front of the defence, he's excellent against Liverpool with the amount of long balls that they put in and the crosses that they whip into the box. Scott McTominay is going to have to come in and do that job, and it will be Fred alongside him. And as much as people are going to hate that, it is actually a quite effective partnership in the bigger games, so don't worry about it, just roll with it, it's going to be fine. Of course Bruno, and I do think it will be Marcus Rashford on the right hand side with Paul Pogba on the left, and give it to Eddie Cavani up front. And here's how we beat them. Liverpool play a ridiculously high line, so it's not rocket science. You've got to get in behind them. Marcus Rashford is going to be key to that. The centre of defence has also been a massive weakness for them, with Kabak sort of adjusting to the Premier League. Phillips isn't elite, and Fabinho's in a makeshift centre-half. So the best course of action for United in this game is just going to be attack and unsettle them. With the high line, Rashford breaking it, the balls over the top have got to be pinpoint. You've got to find link-up play with Cavani, you've got to get Pogba on the ball, and you've got to get Bruno on the ball, and you've got to get Marcus running from the halfway line, because that's where the line will set, and that's where United are going to carve them open and create chance after chance. I'd love to see Marcus up against Trent Alexander, because Marcus gives the guy nightmares. Now, Trent and Robertson are a major part of how Liverpool attack, and if you can pin those guys back because they've got defensive work to do, you're going to nullify what they do in attack. Mo Salah and Mane's not been great for them this season by any stretch of the imagination, but Mane and Mo Salah, they cheat a little bit and they stay very high up the pitch, which means that you've got lanes into midfield where you can play it, but you've also got to watch when you are playing out from the back, because United are not elite when playing out the back, and we get caught playing out the back, and without Harry Maguire, playing out the back is going to be even harder for us, because I don't think Eric Bailly is anywhere near as good as Harry Maguire is on the ball. So there's a few areas that United are really going to struggle with in this game. So the best form of defence for us is to put them on the back foot and actually go for them. And if we go for them, I think we beat them. It's as simple as that. Anyway, I'm going for an edgy 2-1 United win. That's my 11. That's what I think the score is going to be. That's how I think Liverpool are going to be a threat for Manchester United. You guys in the comments, let me know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How's it going to go down? I'll see you in the next one. Laters.